Welcome back. Now let's take a look at some business for the day. Here's Loretta Chogo.
You first. First Bank.
Welcome now to Business News. Nigeria's frontline economist Bismarck Riwani has told Channels Television that the country's economy may see some recovery in the final quarter of 2015 if oil prices recover, forex rates improve, and government debt services decline. Mr. Riwani, who was speaking on our flagship program Business Morning to Channels business anchor Harriet Agbe today.
What we need to do to bring our exchange rate into equilibrium is a maximum of about 5%, which means 5% of 200 is 10. The worst that will happen to bring it in equilibrium is maybe a 10 naira adjustment, but you don't need to do it. If you were to deal with some of the other fiscal issues first, the adjustment that will be required will be minimal, if at all. Now, what are the fiscal issues? What has Angola done? Angola on the 1st of September removed all petroleum subsidies, adjusted the currency by 19%, and has actually witnessed an accretion in reserves. And that's why I said the fiscal team will have to look at it. Nobody's going to talk about petroleum subsidy without the fiscal team looking at the budgetary impact. So if interest rates come down and you reduce the debt service obligations of the government, if you take a good look at the subsidy regime and see how you're going to deal with it so it reduces the corruption and leakages. At the same time, you actually begin to see an improvement in refinery output and distribution network. When you put all of this together, the total adjustment required may not be as difficult as is anticipated. Kennedy had said, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. The panic that an adjustment a market adjustment in exchange rate will cause pandemonium and all sorts of things is, first of all, it's incorrect, and it is just a paranoia of people who do not understand market economics.
Frontline economist Mr. Bismarck Riwani speaking on Nigeria's economy. Now, the Lagos State House of Assembly has approved the reordering of the 2015 state budget as requested by Governor Akinwumi Ambode. The House approved 19.7 billion naira for capital expenditure and 5.6 billion naira for recurrent expenditure, bringing the total approved sum to 25.4 billion naira. Governor Ambode had requested the reordering of priorities under the 2015 budget to continue the construction of the Blue Light Rail project, the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, a pedestrian bridge at Ojodu Berga, and flyover bridges at Ajah Roundabout and Penn Cinema in Agege. He also wants the continuation of the Employment Trust Fund and wealth creation programs to continue. 22 stocks appreciated while 24 declined at the close of stock trading at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Harriet Agbe gives us details of today's trading.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Midweek session at the equities market finished north as the market digests monetary pronouncements from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Gains from some market movers pushed the all-share index up 0.38% to 30,543.17. Market capitalization also gained 40.3 billion naira to settle at 10.5 trillion. Market returned negative as 22 stocks appreciated while 24 declined. The top three gainers were Forte Oil, Dangote Cement and Stanbic IBTC Holdings. On the flip side, Okomo Oil closed at 28 naira 10 kobo, dropping by 2.94%. UACN is off 2.15% to 30 naira, and Ashaka Cement makes up the top three losers for the session, down 2.13% to 22 naira 2 kobo. Zenith Bank was the most actively traded with 131.64 million units, followed by Sterling Bank and Aso Savings and Loans. At the end of the session, market activity increased as volume traded rose 138.9% to 466.9 million units, while value traded improved 40.3% to 4.4 billion naira. That's it on the stock market report. I'm Harriet Agbini.
The Volkswagen emission scandal would impact other ancillary services in the automobile industry. Now, this is according to DWTV Channel TV correspondent Avi Argoda during an interview on Business Incorporated. According to Argoda, the impact of the scandal will be far-reaching in Germany, as 1 out of 6 workers are in auto industry.
In Germany depends on the automotive industry. So, of course, if this scandal spreads out to other markets and possibly to other brands or to other technologies somehow, this could indeed have an effect on the economic performance of Germany and even the Eurozone. We are seeing losses in companies that are not related to this scandal at all. For example, Renault, the French car maker, is also one of the biggest losers on today's trading session. And this shows us just the impact that this might have. There are, for example, just to give you an example of a possible consequence, environmentalist groups that are against the use of diesel motors in the European Union. If they get some strong points out of this scandal, they might even get through with a legislation that prohibits the use of the diesel motor. That would also hit other car makers in other European countries. So the scope of this scandal is definitely far, far wider than we can foresee now. But of course, this will largely depend on whether this is an isolated event that hits the U.S. market or whether it has consequences in other countries and in other markets, and especially in other brands of the car makers in Europe.
Now, rounding up business tonight, let's take a look at the market figures globally. That's it on Business News. I'm Loretta Chiogo. Ijomo Onyato continues with the news.
You first. First Bank.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Trade and Investment, has introduced a new mark of quality for all products found in Nigeria and also for imported goods. The new identification logo is aimed at reducing the amount of substandard goods in the market and also to discourage the use of fake marks of product quality. However, this will not take effect until the second quarter of 2016. Now, Interswitch, that's Africa's fastest growing tech company, has announced its corporate rebranding. Commenting on the rebrand, founder and group managing director of Interswitch, Mitchell Elegbe, said, quote, "The company's new logo and brand is a confident statement of our leading position in the market and our vision to continue to push the boundaries of digital payments in Africa."
As often said, it is counterproductive to do the same thing the same way and expect a different result. Interswitch, your digital payment and commerce provider, can't be caught in that web, so it has chosen to rebrand its identity, and elaborately so.
To continue to remain relevant and consistent and delight our customers, we need to always refresh our brand. In doing so, we try to ensure that we do not deviate completely from the existing logo in order not to lose the essence and the equity that the brand has accrued over the years.
Coming from over a decade of growth trajectory resulting in a current transaction volume of 350 million transactions monthly, Interswitch won't rest, and here is the reason.
And what we have done is to take a look at the way we interact with our customers, the various entry points, the roles social media it's playing in the lives of our customers and opportunities that creates for us, and basically repositioned our brand and our business to take advantage of these opportunities.
Looking into the future, they've got some projections.
We are deepening our spread, better and more. Better meaning more enhanced, of course always secure, easier and more intuitive.
We want to streamline what I'll call our brand identity and designation of specific products and so on. So when you see a product, whether it says the name Interswitch or not, you know it's an Interswitch product.
To complement the rebranding is the unveiling of Verve Pay Code, an app that allows you to withdraw money without a card, plus more.
For faster, safer transactions, download Verve World today to get started.
For Interswitch, remaining number one and helping you with better intuitive interaction is what excites them. They say to you, switch on. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
Well, education and security in Anambra State have received a boost with the commissioning of 21 speedboats for teachers and pupils in riverine areas of the state. A gunboat was also donated to the Odekpe Naval Base. Governor Willie Obiano says the gesture is to ensure that the security of lives and property of the people living on the coast is done. He also says access to education is important and no child should be left behind.
A large crowd heralds the governor's arrival at Okoti Odekpe, in Ogabru local government area with fanfare. Security chiefs in the state also troop out to welcome him. The event is the commissioning of 21 speedboats for teachers and pupils in the riverine areas and 1 gunboat for the naval base in Odekpe. The projects will improve the academic lives of 90,931 pupils in the 96 schools located in the remote riverine areas. The chairman of Anambra State Universal Basic Education Board, ASUBEB, reels out a long list of Governor Obiano's contributions to the education sector in the state. He says the governor has eased the transport problem of the riverine people.
Your Excellency, sir, these speedboats were procured to assist the state in the attainment of some of the Millennium Development Targets, as well as education for all, as they are targeted for the nomadic communities in islands of Ambode, Anambra East and Anambra West.
For the commander of the naval outpost in Odekpe, the gunboat is a state-of-the-art machine with outstanding features for maneuvering and patrolling the waterways, with the safety of the boat's navigator guaranteed.
These are really the characteristics of a boat that will be committed to security. And in addition to that, we also acknowledge the fact that the boat is armor-plated, which means that it guarantees the protection of those that will operate the boat.
The governor says the commissioning of the gunboat for the Navy would be of immense help in the security of the lower Niger, while the speedboats would lay to rest their mobility difficulties. He says the beneficiaries will have to pay only a token of 100 naira, which will be used for the maintenance of the boats, as against the 800 naira fare.
These flying boats are to aid the teachers and the people living in the rural community to be able to commit a lot faster and better. For now, they use canoe, and with the rising flood, we've had some mishaps in the past, so we don't want that to happen.
After the commissioning, the governor takes a ride in the gunboat to the admiration of the people. It is a bumper package of security, education, health and transportation. And this gesture from the government is one that the people say they cannot forget in a hurry.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Arsenal starlet Alex Iwobi gets Super Eagles call-up for Congo and Cameroonian friendlies. And that's on sports. Stay with us.